Hey guys, I'm Gabriella from Postcards from Hawaii, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to crochet your very own chunky beanie. I already have a blog post with the step-by-step guide and the free pattern. If you're watching this on YouTube and you would like that blog post, then click the link in the description box, and if you're already on my blog, then you'll see that blog post down below. In this video, you will have the opportunity to crochet along with me. So, what are you waiting for? Let's give it a go. To make this crochet beanie hat, you will need a 5.5mm hook, about 135 meters or 147 yards of a chunky yarn, a darning needle, scissors, and a pom-pom. So the first thing you want to do is create a slip knot. So take the yarn in your hand and wrap it around your two fingers. Pull your fingers out and insert the hook. Catch that tail of yarn and pull it out through the loop, and then pull on your yarn to create a slip knot. The next thing you're going to do is create your foundation chain. And you need to chain 39 stitches. So to do that, you're going to bring the yarn over your hook and pull it through the loop on your hook. Yarn over and pull it through the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And you want to do that so you have 39 stitches. So off you go. Now, even though I count while I create it, I sometimes make a mistake. So just go ahead and double check that you have 39. Okay. Now we're going to start our double crochet. And we're going to put the first one into the third chain from the hook. So this is your first one, this is your second, and this is your third. That's the one you're going to go into. So to do your double crochet, bring your yarn over your hook and insert it into that third chain. Yarn over and pull through, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2, yarn over, pull it through the last 2. And this is how that's going to look. So those first 2 on your foundation chain that you skipped, that created your turning chain that lifts you up to be able to do your row. So let's continue on. So yarn over, and then you see how we worked into that third one down here? So you'll be working into the next one along here. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, and you've got those 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And the next one, same again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull it through, and you've got those 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Now you want to continue to do that all the way across your foundation chain until you have 37 stitches at the end of this row. Go ahead and do that, and I'll catch up with you at the end. Okay, so now we're just putting the last couple of stitches in. And this will complete our first row. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the final 2. And here we go, here is our first row. This is what it'll look like. Cute, right? All right, let's move on to our second row. So to do that, you're going to chain 2. And that creates the turning chain that lifts you up into the next row, just like when you skip the first 2 right at the beginning. This is what you're going to be creating here. So to chain 2, it's just like you did with your foundation chain. So you're going to go yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through. Now you want to turn your work. And this is so you can work back across the row you just created. Now we're going to put a double crochet in, but this one is slightly different. So what we're going to do is go in through the top of the stitch and out through the back loop only. So to do that, yarn over, look over the top of your work, insert your hook in and come out the back of that loop. Yarn over, pull through, and you've got those 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. All right, let's do that next one. Yarn over, insert down through the top and out through the back. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those first 2, yarn over, pull through those final 2. And you want to continue putting those double crochets into the back loop only all the way across this row until you reach the end. So you'll still have 37 stitches. So go ahead and do that, and I will catch up with you when you reach the end of this row. Right, now we're just coming into the last stitch on our second row, and here's what it will look like. And I can see even from the second row that by going into the back loop only, you now have that ribbing going on. All right, now let's work our third row. And this will start just like you did going from your first row into your second row. So you'll chain 2, turn your work, and then do that double crochet in through the back loop only. So yarn over, over the top, insert that hook out through the back, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you'll have the hang of that stitch now. So go ahead, work through your third row, and I'll see you at the end. We're just coming into our final stitch on our third row, and now we can really see that ribbing. So this is your third row, and you want to have 32 altogether. So you want to work another 29 rows just like the one you did. So you'll chain 2, turn your work across that row with your double crochet in the back loop only. And then, so make 32, and then when you have 32, come back to me and we'll go on to the next step. Okay guys, welcome back. So now you have 32 rows of double crochet in the back loop only, and it'll look like this really tiny little blanket. So when you finish, you should have finished with your hook at one top corner, and then the tail of your yarn from your foundation chain, that should be in the opposite corner. So we're now going to join these 2 edges together to create a tube. So line them up, and then we're going to put a slip stitch in to each of the 37 stitches to join this and create a seam. So to do that, you're going to insert your hook through the stitch just at the front here, so through there. And then you're going to put it through the back, all the way through. And then by doing this, it kind of creates 3 loops on your hook. And what you want to do is put the yarn over the hook and pull through all 3 of these loops, just like this. It might be a bit tricky to pull through all 3 in one go, so you can pull through 2 and then pull through the other, but just make sure that you are just pulling through all 3. So let's do another one. So you want to insert the hook in through the front of the stitch, in through here, through the back as well, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 of those loops. Let's do another one. So in through the stitch, out through the back, yarn over, and pull through all 3 of those loops. You want to continue to put these slip stitches in just like this, through the front, through the back, yarn over, pull it through and pull it through. You want to continue to do it just like that all the way across until you reach the end and you've put that seam in to join those both together. So I'll catch up with you when you get to the end. All right, we'll just put the final one in through, yarn over, and pull it through all the way. Okay, so this is what it'll look like. You just have a funky little tube going on, and your seam will look just like this. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do is fasten off, and we're gonna cut a tail of yarn to be able to sew up the top of the hat. So we want it to be quite long, but the first thing we're gonna do is fasten off. So to do that, you just wanna chain 1, and then you need to cut your yarn. So I did not have a ruler or a tape measure when I filmed this, but it should be about 15 inches or 40 centimeters. I'm just going by eye because I've made this hat enough times now. But yeah, maybe you want to measure it. So cut it, and then you want to pull on that loop that was on your hook, pull all the way up just like that, and then just give it a little tug at the base just to tighten that up. Now get your darning needle, thread it onto the yarn. Oh, that was difficult to watch. Okay, now you're going to get the top edge of your hat, and we're going to weave the needle in and out of the very top edge of the hat. And then as you do that, you're going to pull the yarn through and then pull on that to draw the hat closed. So you see we're going in and out and in and out. There is no perfect way to do this, but just keep as close to the top of the hat as you can. So pull that needle through and then just draw it close. And you want to pull and draw the hat close as you go along, because you'll find it a little trickier if you wait to do that at the end. So just work your way around until you get back to that original tail from the foundation chain. And then when you finish, you just want to pull it as tight as you can, but be careful not to put too much pressure on that yarn. And it's not going to close all the way because it's a chunky yarn, but we're going to cover that with a pom-pom anyway. And if not, you can always just put a couple of stitches in to close it up if you're not going to put a pom-pom on. So to fasten this, just take that foundation chain tail and just put a couple of knots in with the yarn you've just been working with. Just like this. Right now, we can pretty much see our hat from here. So let's turn it inside out, or turn it to the right way round, really. And just like magic, you have a beanie hat. Okay, well maybe we just need to fuss with it a little bit. But you can see the hat. You can roll up that rim as much as you want. And now let's move on to the pom-pom. These ones that I've bought, they have a little loop so it's easier to stitch on. So I'll show you how to securely fasten a pom-pom. So go back into the inside of your hat, and then you want to insert your needle off from the center of the top of the hat. Just off from the edge, just a little bit. And push your needle up through and pull it out. Pull it tight. Thread your pom-pom on. And then just how you came up kind of off from the center, you're going to go down back through to the inside of the hat off the other side of the center of the top of the hat. And just pull on that yarn to tighten that pom-pom on. But it's still going to be a bit wobbly, so we're going to need to secure it with another stitch. But first we're just going to put in a little knot. You can just sew that in, just sew through a couple of stitches on the hat just to kind of secure that one stitch that we've just done. Just like this, really simple. Just sew in a little knot. Make sure you've got that pull tight. And to really secure that pom-pom, we're kind of pretty much going to do what we just did, but on the other sides. So what we're doing is creating a cross, and that pom-pom is going to be right in the middle of that cross. See, it's wobbly? We're going to fix that. So insert your needle off from the center, just like you did before, but in the area that you haven't worked before. Push that needle up through. If you can find it, so Chunky will remember. Might take a little while to come through. Pull it out and then go back through that loop under the pom-pom, thread it through, and then come back down through the hat, just off from the center, just as you did before. It's really hard to see from what I'm doing, but you really want to just create a cross and have that pom-pom in the middle. And just double check you haven't caught any of the hairs of the pom-pom when you pull that needle through. And now just sew that through, put in a knot just to fasten that. And you see, the wobble's gone. I do like to touch this hat and that pom-pom. It's a fluffy pom-pom. All right, let's come back onto the inside. So the last thing we need to do is just tidy up these ends. And to do that, you just have to weave in, just go under a few stitches. You don't want to be able to see this on the other side, so just, lightly go under those stitches. You don't have to go all the way through the hat. And you just weave, and you can go up and down and come back in on yourself. It doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong. And when you're ready, just cut. And then go ahead and do that with the other tail. Just weave it in through the stitches. And if you need to really see that weaving up close, then head to the blog post and you'll be able to see a photo. Okay, there you go. You just crocheted your very own chunky beanie. I am so proud of you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.